circling. We should be live, and I'm sitting over here on YouTube waiting to mute it just the moment it shows up. So how's it going, Scott? I've got a brand new Procreate file sitting here. Oh, there it is. There we go.
Awesome. That's hang on. I got to mute mine now. I want to send the link to Facebook. Hold on, I just minimized it. I'm doing pretty good, Ellis. I'm gonna, and I hope none of my friends are watching this because I'm concerned about my parents turning into hermits because they don't leave the house.
Well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're the wrong person to ask about getting people out of the house.
I'd say leave them alone is what I'd say.
Well, but I think my mom is
it might be the happiest they've ever been in their life.
No, no, it's not. They're not you. I think being stuck in the house is starting to depress my mom. I think it's starting to depress a lot of people, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
One of them is me. But I've been in the office twice this week, 2 days. We had a sorry, I was posting this on Facebook and and a lady that goes to my church referred to me as a fantastic fox. My wife doesn't listen to this, so I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, at my work, we had someone that works there that tested positive for coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've been working at home. And so Monday I get a call from one of my employees who is working in the plant. They tell me this. And I'm like, oh, geez. And so they sent a bunch of people to be tested. And I called the safety guy and talked to him and said, what's going on? And he told me, and they felt like he said, I think it's going to be okay. But out of caution, we've got to, now we really need to send everybody and get them tested. So anyone that came in contact with this it was basically they felt bad one morning, so they didn't go to work and they went and got tested, and then they were positive. So they don't think that the theory, even before anybody got tested, was they probably didn't bring it into the plant, because they got up and felt bad. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They stayed home. They went and got tested.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I had almost an entire department was decimated because all the employees were one of the ones that come in contact with this person. So I called my boss and said, do you want me to send my guys in? I say guys, and I do have one female that works for me, but do you want me to send my guys in to kind of, and he said, well, let me look at the log. And so he looked. He said, well, if you would send, he said, just a couple of people would probably do it. And so I said, well, I cannot ask my employees to go in if I'm not willing to go in. And so I went into work the last couple of days. Actually physically went into the building and,
right.
And I saw they've been working on my new room. I've got a new room. It's pretty awesome looking. And the vice president of the company came by my desk and spoke to me both days. Wished me a happy birthday. Last weekend was my birthday. And he had actually texted me. In fact, I was talking to him while this was all going on because he texted me and they said, yeah, we had some excitement in your building. That's what I've heard. But anyway, I'm the long and the short of that is he told me, well, you can come in anytime you want to. And I said, well, I'm ready. So Michelle and I had this discussion this evening because her boss has told her the same thing. And so whether the virus is here or not here, I think at some point we're just going to start going back to work.
Well, and when you do, please tell me the moment you realize that
it was a mistake,
that I was completely right, and that if the only thing that marked the demarcation of you doing it and was simply a matter of saying, well, I'm tired of it, then by golly, there was just never any point in it.
Well, now hang on before we get too far, because I don't want to get out. I don't want to get this. I don't want this to get
Well,
out of hand.
it makes me angry when I realize, because
Well,
I realize what it's about. It's about
yeah,
manipulation. It's about
but let
mind
me. Well, but let me say this. I know this
if
last
nobody
weekend.
else realizes. Go ahead.
Someone that I know died of this. So you are not implying it's a hoax.
It's a disease that's out there that's always going to be out there. They unleash something on us that is always going to be a variant of this coronavirus that is also a cold virus
Yeah.
that is uncurable because there has never been a cure for a coronavirus.
Yeah.
And that's another part of the mind control that's going on, that they act like there's a vaccine coming for a variant of the
cold.
Of the cold that is curable or vaccinatable, like it was polio or something. And that's not the case, never will be the case until some genius comes across with what makes a vaccine for that kind of a virus. And so all of it is a wait until the mind control segment of our population that can go 24/7 with a notion allows us to go back to normal.
I kind of disagree with you a little bit. I don't know. The fact is nobody knows about this thing.
I do. It's easy. It's easy.
Oh, but I do agree. Well, okay. So a guy at my work I was talking to today, and he pointed out, he always talked about swine flu, the swine flu. And I don't know, somebody checked the numbers. I didn't check the guy, but he said swine flu killed 60 million people. Coronavirus has only killed 500,000 or whatever.
Well, those stats don't matter to the extent that you need to justify anything. It's here. It's always going to be here. There's no point in changing your deal. It's not bad enough that
I agree with that.
It warrants everything it's damaging, other than the hopes of Joe Biden. We need to go ahead and act like we're normal, free people again. Well,
here's the problem. As I see it, what you're saying, I think one thing we're butting up against here is a lot of people are afraid to die. And so, and I'm going to be, you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion, which that's gone out the window a long time ago. But as a religious person, I am not afraid to die. I do not believe that it's something I should worry about. But I think that a lot of people don't feel that way. And so when you tell them X number of people are going to die, their immediate freak out. That's the worst thing that could happen. It's like a friend of mine said, I am exercising and losing weight now. I go, oh, that's good. What brought this on? Well, I'm trying to get off meds and I don't want to die. And I go, well, that's good. That's a good goal. You should get off meds. I said, but I got news for you. You are going to die one day. I said, but hopefully you can delay it. I tried to soften it, but a lot of people have not just said, hey, you know what? This is not my forever home, as the people say when they buy their last house.
Yeah.
It's like, well, one day, no matter what you believe, religious or not religious or whatever, one day you will not be here. And I think we see, and I think that fear permeates a lot of our society. Which, I mean, I don't know, maybe it should or whatever. I don't know. I just was raised differently. Anyway, I don't know. That's a pretty morbid, pretty morbid way to start off the night. But I do think I agree with you that it is being hyped up, like a lot of things now. If it and it's all has to do with it. Well, let me tell you what I told somebody at work today. I believe there are evil people in this world, and they don't care who they harm, be it by instilling fear, by it costing them their jobs, their homes, everything they own, starving them to death, causing them to be depressed and commit suicide. They don't care. All they care about is that their political party wins, and I'll let you figure out. The viewer can figure out how they want to take that. But I think there are people that feel it. I know for a fact there are, because I've heard people say, as long as we win. Now you could argue, and you could argue that both ways, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, no. It's fanatical enough both ways, but the deal is, on my side of the spectrum, the right side, it's far harder to get that sort of passion that exists on the left side, and it bugs me, but I am part of the problem, because you could not get me out to even something as passive as a Trump rally. And in other words, if you wanted me to suit up and go meet Antifa, it would be like, okay, now, oh sure, I might like to see these guys hurt on videos. I might like to see a punched commie on the video, but do I really want to punch one? And so it's like, no, probably not. And so it's like, at some point you do it. Well, it's not a solution, but like this poem that I finally have committed to memory goes, Pale Ebenezer thought it wrong to fight, but Roaring Bill, who killed him, thought it right. That's by Hilaire Belloc, or whatever. But that sums it up in terms of like where we're always at as human beings in conflict, is that it's fine that you can try to play Gandhi when someone gets in your face, but believe me, if they've got a blunt instrument or something else, there's going to be a fight if you've got any life in you whatsoever.
Oh, no. Don't miss it. Hey, I'm in Taekwondo. I'm taking hits. I'm not afraid to take a hit or two. But I'm just saying, I don't think you should go out looking. No.
You shouldn't go looking for fights.
Our political problems, none of these problems are going to be solved by any of this, any kind of, I mean, the people, I listened to, I heard a great, they were talking about the people in Portland, and they said, well, what do they want? And it was like, they don't want anything. I mean, they'll say they want stuff, and they feel like they're being proactive or active to go out and do, burn down stuff, but ultimately they don't really want it. They don't really know what they want. How do they ever get satisfied? I'm out on all that, because I don't have the time or the energy to,
Yeah.
I mean, even if I don't know. Anyway, I got comics to draw, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Ellis, this is page 15.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
I had the pencils for 16, and then I have 6 more pages to pencil and ink, and I'm done.
Excellent.
And I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I am going to be depressed, because it's like, what do I do? What do you do? What do you do when you're not making comics all the time?
Well, you could do you could start to grow an audience. That's what all these people.
That's what I
Oops.
need to do is, and I've been trying to do that I've been posting more and more stuff online.
Just figure out what you do that is unique, and people might want to drop in on and check out, and
it's
start pushing yourself that way. Yeah. These Wednesdays aren't going to drag in a huge buying audience, so you need to grow beyond that.
Yeah, I need to do something, but I'm
I'm sorry, I am actually using the brain to kind of think of procreate right now. I'm solving some stuff. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're probably trying to think too. Is on your drawing.
I was turning the TV on so I could watch us on the big screen. Hey, that looks pretty cool, Ellis.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me playing with Procreate, trying to familiarize myself with.
But you got a new
what?
You got a new computer, didn't you?
I got a new
computer.
No, I got a new monitor. So my ability to see has all of a sudden, man, it's better. It's so much better. I've had that monitor for probably, I don't know, 10 years. I don't know how long I've had it. It was done.
Was it a CRT?
No, it wasn't that old. So you may be checking me on something, and maybe it's not that old, but I know I had it way back on my desktop in for ages. So yeah, it's 10 years old. I know it is.
Okay. I'm not going to check you. I'm not one of those kind of friends.
Yeah. Okay. I've labeled this. I've titled this "Creation of the Humanoids." This is a movie that's available on Prime, like most of the stuff I watch anymore. It seems like, even though I've noticed YouTube with ads is also pretty good stuff. So I don't mind a few commercials here and there if they've got some weird, fun movie for me to watch. But creation.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I got a phone call, and now you all are looking at my ceiling.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you had to use your phone.
Well, I tell people, hey, don't call me on Wednesdays. And so they call me on Wednesdays. Let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. But anyway, okay, so when are we going to do our movie?
Well, as I was talking about this movie, Creation of the Humanoids, it's on Prime. And I also saw a movie called Night Eats the World. And that, would be what you would call an indie. But at the end of it, the credit roll is just this incredible long credit roll. And the number of companies involved in it was 26. And that's an indie.
Gosh.
That's an indie comic book, a small little thing. And but the Creation of the Humanoids had a very good DP on it, so it looks great. And it had Jack Pierce. Do you know who that name is? Jack Pierce?
The makeup guy.
The makeup guy, a legend of makeup.
Yeah.
And so he's doing the makeup on it. And the actors.
Is it an old movie?
It's it's labeled as 1962, and I read that it actually probably was finished in 1960. So it's that old.
Okay. I've seen that on Prime. It's popped up unsurprisingly popped up in my thing. So it's worth watching.
It is, if you like kind of obscure science fiction. It's
I love obscure science fiction.
Yeah. Oh, doggone it. Yeah, I'm sorry, just trying to figure something out here. Yeah, it is fun. It's got a weird color palette too. It's bright, saturated all the way through it.
Oh, really?
It reminds you of like Douglas Sirk or something like that. And the acting isn't bad. And one of the actors in it, the main lead big guy, I looked at his credits, and I've seen him all over the place. Of course, he's got this recognizable looking face. And Fly Fox Pro says, "Hello, hello, Fly
Oh,
Fox."
hello. We're
And
like three students. Hello, hello, hello.
and I
Sorry.
looked at his credit, his credits list Blazing Saddles as the gum chewer. And I looked at that credit and I said, "That's not the guy who, Harvey Korman shoots for chewing gum in line." Because I mean, that guy's face is really distinctive. And sure enough, I looked at the credits for Blazing Saddles, and they've got two guys credited as gum chewer.
Oh, really? Maybe he got cut or something?
Yeah, maybe he got cut or something like that. Maybe, yeah, he auditioned as the guy, and they like the other guy's work better or something. I don't know. Or maybe there's part of there's part of. But what's weird is that guy is tiered up to where he's just at the tail end of the main credits, to where he's included in the top tier of the credits. But the guy that actually got shot for chewing gum is in the lower tier where he's actually listed as uncredited.
Well, isn't that a SAG thing? How they're listed in the credits?
Yeah, I don't know. I never accomplished a SAG card. I'm probably lucky I didn't. I don't know. It might have changed my life to have had a SAG card. I don't know.
A lot of things would have changed your life.
Oh yeah,
everybody's life.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of randomness out there. That a lot of it is randomness. I like, for one thing, I like challenging myself to even pronounce the word. But propinquity. Do you know what that means?
No.
Propinquity. I got it from the first time I heard it was on Adobe Gillis. Was the little girl that is infatuated with Dobie, the little dark-haired girl. She says, "It's hopeless, Dobie. You will marry me eventually because of propinquity. We are both victims of propinquity." And what that means is that if you are in proximity to somebody, that is who all your cultural learning and the likelihood of mating with, all that stuff is going to go on because of propinquity, which I guess the word could be proximity, but it
would be more than proximity, because you're in proximity to a lot of people. But
right.
If I understand what you're saying, it's the idea that
consistent proximity. Yeah.
Well, no, isn't it more? I mean, from what you said, it's more like if you're around someone with the right kind of background, maybe even different than you or same as you or whatever.
Right.
There are certain types that if you're around them, you'll be attracted to them. Basically.
Yeah. There's that too. There's that. Yeah.
Okay.
That you get a lot of bad influence.
I would.
You would agree with that?
Well, I mean, I think that there are. Okay, so my wife and I have this debate all the time. Mm-hmm. And so the debate is there someone out there for everyone?
Right.
And I realize that I'm saying this to a confirmed bachelor or lifelong bachelor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, no. I argue that there isn't with her, but then I start to think that there is. But it's like you may never be around that person, and I don't mean it's like, you must marry this one person. But it,
Well, in terms of like you hear that argument all the time. Dennis Prager is big on that argument. A lot of people are big on that argument, and they tend to be kind of know-it-all types that want to tell you about how you aren't doing yourself any favors by being alone. And this is true for the most part. I mean, you should expose yourself to people and learn from people and everything like that. That's the only way to go. And I was a person that one time always claimed that. I always said I wanted to meet lots of people and thrust myself in a lot of different situations. Well, that's changed as you get older. You said I've had enough of it.
What?
I also realized that in terms of like myself and the other gender, the female, it is hard for me to really stay patient with the typical female mind. I really, have. It's very sexist. It's very sexist.
Okay, well, at least you admit it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Well, it's sexist to the extent that I'm saying.
Well, explain.
I think I have a right to having my less prone to drama, less prone to drama mind, my less prone to just dozens of things
that's what, before you hang yourself with that rope there. That's why I married an engineer, because sure. Michelle is not prone to your stereotypical women.
Well, there you go.
Issues, but she definitely has a different. But Michelle and I, Michelle's my wife for anybody that's listening. But Michelle and I, we've been married for 33 years. So we did get married young, but we actually met. And this goes back to your propinquity or whatever that word was.
Propinquity.
We met at a Christian college. I'm trying to think of the word for it. we met at a Christian college. Never would have met except for she attended that because she's from out of state. And so we were young, and I think the older that you are,
the older
you get
big factor.
Because I've often said if something were to happen to my wife, I would never attempt it.
And I totally accept these people that die within weeks of their spouse dying. I think that's I think it's almost great. I mean, it's like great. I mean, you had such a soulmate that the lack of that soulmate is something that takes you to the grave. I think that's kind of cool.
Well, I don't know about cool, but
I like the idea. It makes you brings a little it brings a little tear to the eye or whatever. But I like it.
Well, I hate to I can see that. I mean, I don't know. It's. I do think. So I'm most likely to change it. Have I ever told you a story about how Michelle and I met?
Fly Fox Pro met on a Christian mingle with his wife.
Really?
Yep.
That's good. I met my wife. Have I told you a story, Ellis?
No. Does it in?
Okay.
Go ahead. I was trying to come up with a joke, and I couldn't think of one that would survive friendship. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, come on! I'm not that thin-skinned.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Terrible for your children if you die so soon after each other. Yeah, I think that's true. I think in reality, I think the idea of one spouse, if you have kids, that would be terrible. Even if they're adult children, I think it'd be tough for them. Well,
it'd go easy for the surviving character. He'd spare himself a lot of people annoying him after the other one was gone. I tell you. Oh, never mind.
Well, that might. Anyway, okay, so I set out of college for initially it was going to be a year, but it ended up only being a semester just because it was like, I don't know what I want to do. And so I ended up until my grandmother told me, if you'll go to SNU, which I hadn't really considered it, which is kind of funny. SNU for Fly Fox Pro is Southern Nazarene University. It actually had a different name then, but it's a Nazarene college. And so she said, if you'll go, I'll pay for it. At the time, it was very expensive. I still probably it's expensive, but more expensive than it was then. But anyway, so there were some circumstances in my life. I was working a job. I worked at a car lot delivering auto parts. Mm-hmm. And I kind of I originally thought, well, this would be great because I'll be working. It'll be awesome. Well, then I realized what they pay you if you're just a high school graduate. You're not, if you're unskilled, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And I was definitely unskilled. My only skill was driving, and I wasn't even very good at that. But anyway, so, which, by the way, I worked there with DL.
Oh, really? So, you guys go back out long, huh?
Oh, farther than that. Farther than that. But anyway, so I quit my job. I went to school and I went to my advisor and I decided I wanted to be an architect. I still think it'd be cool to be an architect.
Yeah.
And so I went in and my advisor says, you've missed a semester of college. We've got to catch you up. And I go, okay, what do we do? And he's like, I'm going to enroll you in college algebra and trig. And I go,
no, you aren't.
I haven't had a math class since I think it was 8th grade, something like that. I don't think I may have had one in 9th grade or 10th grade, but it had been at least 2.5 years since I had a math class.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know about that, dude. No, you can do it. So I go into this class, the trig class, and which, by the way, both of them had the same teacher. I go in and he goes, well, we're going to see where people are at. So I'm going to give you a skills test.
Yeah. I'll give you that test. See your aptitude.
And I went and I took the trig one and I was like, I don't know anything on this. The algebra one was.
What language is this? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Is this German? I didn't sign up for this.
Yep.
So I said, I can't do that. And so I went and I had a cousin who was a commercial artist at the time. And commercial artists used to be a thing. Now it's not really even a thing.
Yeah.
But before computers, there was a commercial artist you could become. In fact, Dave had done this too, by the way. DL had done this. You could be a commercial artist, and you would do like newspaper layouts and
right.
like somebody needed. It was for a while it converted to desktop publishing, but that's even an archaic term now.
Yes.
And I don't know who does all that stuff now. I mean, I think it's not even. It used to be a very I don't know, lucrative, but it was a commercial artist was wear a tie and go, get a T-square and line up some artwork.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I changed my degree. I think my major at that point was like art. And so I changed my major. Well, to change my major, I had to go talk to my advisor. And I talked to him and he said, well, you got to go to drop a math class. So what I was going to do is drop trig and then, suffer through algebra, power my way through algebra, which I did, by the way. I don't know what I got, but I did okay. I passed. Mm-hmm. I had to go to the math office and had the head of the math department sign my add drop slip or whatever it's called. And so when I went in there, when I said I need to talk to Prof. Turner and office to his receptionist or whatever she was, and she goes, "Oh, he's in his office with a student. You can go in there." And so I told her what I needed. And she, oh, you can go in there. He'll sign it. So I go in there, and I can't remember if I knocked or what. The door may have even been open. So I went in there. She said, I'll go in there. He's helping a student. So I go in there, and there's this blonde girl in there. He's on his phone. So I start to talk to this blonde girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm in here. I'm in calculus 4 or whatever, and I need some help with the homework, and so I'm getting some help or getting extra credit or something like that. So I said, oh, so what are you doing? Well, I'm dropping trig. Oh, okay. Anyway, so he signed my slip, and then we left, or I left, she said. And then a little while later, now I forgot to mention I'd broken up with a girl. I've been dating a girl, and we broke up. That was one of the events that led me to going to college. So I just kind of had this, I'm going to uproot everything in my life. And so anyway, so when I was in college at SNU at the time, the male to female ratio, I think there were 6 females for every male. So if you could fog a mirror, you could probably find a girlfriend on the campus.
Yeah.
At the time, I could definitely fog a mirror. But anyway, so I went out with a couple of girls, and there was one girl that I went out with. Lucia, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did I not sound interested enough?
No. I bumped my ear pod and it fell out.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, this is riveting, man.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went out with a couple of girls. Well, I went with this one girl, and she goes, "Hey, my friend doesn't have a car. Can she ride with us?" And I go, well, sure. We were going now this is a Christian college. We were going to a party at some church nearby. So it was very a low key kind of date, you know.
Yeah.
When I asked her out, she said, "Oh, my church college group is having this party. Hey, sounds fun. We'll go." And so down comes her friend, and it was my wife. Anyway, so we went to the party, and the girl I was going out with was real popular, and I was not real popular. I didn't know anybody because I'd set out that first semester of college where everybody meets people. I missed that, and so I talked to the girl that and it was Michelle, and the girl and I didn't really hit it off. And so there was a group of girls that Michelle hung out with, and I was kind of friends, and this other girl was part of that group. I was kind of friends with all these girls. And so at the school, you had to go to chapel like 2 or 3 times a week. And so you'd always kind of vampire fog a mirror. And I think they just can't see themselves do it.
That's it.
Anyway, so I would hang out with this group of girls. And then I found out it ended up to where I started to realize, like, when we were going to chapel, all these girls would vanish except for Michelle. You know, it's like, where are your friends go? Well, they're going to go over there. And then I realized, so I ended up asking Michelle out, and we went out, and I found out later that she kind of told her friends that she liked me. And so they had all kind of conspired. So when we went to chapel as a group, Scott wasn't popular. I refuse to believe it. Well, you know, I was popular in my own mind.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yeah, that is all it takes, really. But anyway, so all these girls had kind of conspired to get Michelle and I alone. And I mean, you know, once I was alone, it was propensity that I would ask her.
Propinquity. I'm getting good at pronouncing it now. This is good exercise.
I would be involved, and so we started dating, and then start dating in like February maybe, and then we were married like a year and a half later, June 13th. But anyway, so I met my wife dropping a math class.
Very cool. Added to your talent stack. Only you were subtracting from your talent stack.
Yay, but you know what? when you're a player, you look for opportunities, whether
That's right.
whether it's adding a math class or dropping a math class.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, well, and here's so I work with a guy. I mean, you know what? Now I think about it, I work with quite a few single people, men. I work with a guy that he's younger. And he always laments that he can't find a girl, and what he always says is it was easier in college, which I would imagine is true. I mean, proximity plays a huge role in this.
Oh, yeah.
If there are no girls around, you ain't gonna meet a girl.
That's right.
I mean, I pity the guy that's trying to meet women now during the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Unless you're at a rally, a peaceful protest, then you might meet some girls. I'm talking about not like dreadlock chicks, though, like normal chicks.
That used to be a lot of the reason that people would go to things like this. They were there to meet people.
No, guys don't care about any of that stuff. That's the only reason Woodstock happened. They want to be chicks, muddy hippie chicks.
Muddy hippies.
Muddy hippies.
Yeah.
I think that's a Ben and Jerry flavor, isn't it?
What's that? Muddy hippies? That'd be a good band name. Yeah.
No, that's a Ben and Jerry's. That's a Ben and Jerry's flavor.
Yeah. Muddy hippie.
The ice. Yeah, muddy hippie.
That is a good Ben and Jerry's flavor. I like that.
They refuse mine, hippie dirtbag.
Hippie dirtbag. Supposedly that's the only reason that Bernie Sanders stayed in the Wisconsin state to represent it, was he liked Ben and Jerry's. I don't know if that's true or not. No, I don't know.
Well, no, it ain't. It's not. No. It's not Wisconsin. They're not Wisconsin, are they? I thought they were.
I don't know. I forget where.
New Hampshire. He's not Wisconsin. He's New Hampshire.
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you real quick. I'll do a search.
Oh yeah, you do search.
Bernie Sanders. Bernie Bro Sanders.
I think my ink pen is out of ink.
Sounds like it clicks real good.
Yeah, that's because I washed the crap out of these things.
Bernie Sanders he served as a junior United States Senator from Vermont. Okay.
Oh, we were both wrong. Vermont. I was closer, though. I was closer.
You're closer. Okay.
Vermont. Fly Fox Pro had it.
Okay.
When I was a kid,
but he probably looked it up too.
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
My wife and I met in December, got engaged in April, and married in August of that year. That's too fast. No, I mean,
it's just right if you find the right person, I guess.
Yeah, it's not time. It's propinquity.
Propinquity. Yeah, the little girl on Adobe Gillis she became a politician in California, but she's just cute as a button, and then she eventually comes out as she's a lesbian, and that's her way in life and all that. But she was just one of the cutest little things in the world, and she had some really good anecdotes about the guy that played Gilligan, Bob Denver. Bob Denver was apparently a really cool guy that, he would stand up for somebody if you weren't able to stand up for yourself. And he did that for her a couple of times. And he sounded like a real guy. But anyway, the way she would talk to Dobie is she would squinch her nose up like like
Bewitched?
Like Bewitched. She'd just do it real quick. And Dobie couldn't keep himself from reflexively doing it back at her just the moment she did it to him. And it was always a cute little moment. The Dobie Gillises are just all over the place in terms of they just seem like they change universes after about 2 or 3 shows. It's like, hey, weren't you going to go with that thread you had where you had Tuesday Will doing everything? No, we're going to bring in new talent here. So it's like, it was kind of weird to be watching Dobie Gillis's
I've never watched an episode. I've seen part of an episode of Dobie Gillis. It's on Prime too, I think, or it was at one point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I just never watched it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I did finish watching The Prisoner. I watched all the episodes
cool.
of The Prisoner. It was slower than her.
What?
Fly Fox Pro said his engagement was shorter than her parents. They were engaged for 2 weeks, or they were engaged after 2 weeks. Michelle and I were engaged for a long time. We were engaged for like 8 months, I think. Anyway, The Prisoner. Now, have you watched all of The Prisoner, Ellis?
I have. Nope. You know what? I probably can't say I have because, when that one, the Cowboy Show one, came on, it was like, hey, I've never seen this one.
Oh,
pretty sure.
That's a weird one.
It is.
Man, I'm gonna watch them again. I'm gonna give me a little bit though. I'm gonna read up on them because I think I'm missing something in them. I don't know if they're too smart or too dumb for me. I can't decide.
Well, yeah, they're like the Dobie Gillis. They seem like, and it's like Lost as well. Once you get a show started, it's not like anybody's got a master plan where they got all these slick scripts ready to go. They're writing the damn things as the show is going on, and so
especially multi-seasons.
Oh yeah, so you've got the show. It gets the green light, and you say, okay, we're going into production with our first 2 scripts, and then that's what the showrunner is for, is to make sure that the pipeline looks like it's working. That's going to keep feeding the show as it comes into being, and then you get all these people.
Make it work.
And it is weird. It's a miracle it ever works. And when you read about stuff like Martin Sheen, where on that 2.5 Men, where he got to where he was just hating everybody around him, you just wonder how it ever could work.
Yeah. Well, I think. Well, yeah, something like that, or like, I don't know, Family Ties or some comedic thing, The Cosby Show. You can kind of see it working because it's episodic. It's not really there's not an arc. But man, something lost. It's like, where are we going with this? I don't know. I guess that's reading a show Bible.
Yeah.
Supposedly for The Prisoner, there was like a really big show Bible that Lagoon wrote. But I liked it. It's funny you mentioned Lost because Lost is on Prime also, or it's on IMDb television, which you can get at through Prime. And I've watched like the first couple episodes. I can't really get into it.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's a very uneven experience if you do get into it. There'll be segments that just seem great and all that, and then there's others that'll be like, I don't get this. Why are they doing this to me?
Yeah, I could see that.
Or this.
I don't know how many episodes I watched, but I couldn't get into it. And then I know, because I've heard people complain about how the ending sucked. So it's like, I know I'm in for a disappointment at the end, but I don't think I can make it that far. I don't know. The only thing that's really been sticking with me lately is Andy Griffith.
Well, those are classics, yeah.
They're very hit and miss.
Great characters.
Yeah. And Ron Howard was a heck of an actor as a kid. I know I've said it before.
Okay, he did not look up Vermont. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Did I say he looked it up? I didn't.
No, I said that. I said that. I'm the cynic here on that one.
Oh no. Well, I mean that's common knowledge.
Yeah, it probably should be, I guess.
Well, except for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do when I get those 6 pages done.
Oh well, yeah. I've got my stuff all coordinated to where I should be able to. You're going to like my inside covers. It's all about the little short films. I could send them to you before the comic book comes out and send it to you as an attachment. But I finally got all those where I do a little talking about our involvement in those little shorts. So it's fun.
Hey, how would you feel about submitting it to somebody,
Submitting it to
to a
who?
publisher? Are you done with it?
Pretty much, yeah. Uh-huh.
SourcePoint Press is actively looking for books.
Who are they?
They're going to publish my book.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think this is.
It's a no.
Yeah. It just seems like an odd little beast to put in the hands of anybody else.
Yeah, you never know, man. I'm always trying to make Ellis successful, and he resists my every attempt.
Well, success, is its own reward, I guess.
Yeah, boy, that's true, especially with comics.
Yeah, it's its own punishment as well. I say that, and I'm, I got this. I got this extreme envy of Jack Kirby being shackled to his drawing board and producing so much work. I love that. I love that. I wish that had been my life. But I think that. But at the same time, I probably would have been kind of prone to. Hey, look at that! Natasha International has just been commissioned to draw a D&D character. Excellent.
Oh, that's cool. Excellent.
That is a fun little element for artists to delve into, is the D&D world, because it is just a thing of imagination. It's fun to say, okay, these are my trolls. That's the way I see them.
Well, they're drawing a character, so you're drawing somebody else's character. So I'm assuming they're given a description.
Yeah,
and
get a
it's
little
like,
bit
well,
of this
it's a fighter, and it's blonde. He or she's blonde, and I had to get my sketchbook. I drew so I've played D&D since I was a little kid.
Uh-huh.
And so somebody in one of the Facebook groups was talking about, well, I was looking through the old D&D books, and so I drew this. This is like my rendition of like an early, like a first edition AD&D character. That's kind of what they look. They're more medieval than some of the modern stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Things in the way. Anyway.
Oh, my thing's in the way. Let me get rid of it. Here we go.
No.
Go ahead, show it again.
I don't think it'll help.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I knew I had my sketchbook. I took my whatchamacallit sketchbook to work today. My Fabriano.
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish yours, didn't you?
Yeah, I reassessed its worth though, and I decided not to even put it on eBay.
No. You told me you were going to tell me before you put it on eBay.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't put it. I didn't put it on eBay.
Would you sell it?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, I didn't say did you. I said would you. Bring it. Next time you come over, we get together after the coronavirus. You have to bring it. Maybe I'll make you an offer.
Okay.
I don't know how much. Well, no, hang on. How much are we talking about?
I don't know.
Think about a price.
Okay.
You know what? I have one under my desk that is like unopened. I would swap you even.
Yeah, exactly. This one's nice and clean and ready to go.
Oh, it's still in a wrapper. Still in shrink wrapped. Well, when Blick had them on sale, I bought quite a few of them. I think I bought 3 of them. And that one I have lasted me like 3 years.
They're great little sketchbooks.
I had a birthday last weekend, and I seriously considered opening a new one for my birthday because I only got about 12 pages left in that one. I need to finish it so I can start. Because every new year I go, man, I'm gonna start me a new sketchbook, and then I never do because I'm never near the end of one. And I get bored.
Someone is asking for Frank Cho curves on the commission. So what they say when they say that they want appeal. They want that Frank Cho appeal of how he draws females. Yeah,
they want big boobs, Ellis.
Yeah.
Frank Cho has a great book on. It's not called How to Draw Women, but it's How I Draw Women, or maybe it's Drawing Women the Frank Cho Way.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good title.
Yeah, I like Frank Cho sort of. He's kind of like Adam Hughes. He's kind of like a one-trick pony kind of guy. But I mean, they're both solid artists. But that book's. I mean, I got that book. It's decent. They wanted. Yeah, I noticed. So when I went to New York Comic Con, one of my back last October, one of my friends here saw that I was in New York at the Comic Con, and said, "Would you buy me?" And she wanted the sketchbook of some girl who I didn't recognize, and the girl's big claim to fame was she draws like D&D characters.
Yeah, well, you know,
so we talked about
those
D&D.
niches. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing pretty well for herself, apparently. This girl recently got in trouble though because she drew a character of herself, and she drew herself with a tan, and then she got accused of, like, I don't know, blackface or something.
Oh well, there needs to be some sort of group that organizes around the idea that every time the daily political correct shaming, doxing, whatever occurs, there needs to be a group that goes on the offense, that writes just a yard of jokes about the whole topic. And of course, a lot of this is Babylon Bee. That's what they do. They are organized on that front where whatever ludicrous thing has come up, they're writing jokes about it, and that's a big way to combat some of this stuff. It's like,
ridicule is a powerful weapon.
Let's ridicule this out of our lives.
Well,
the Babylon Bee for about I think it was only about 10 minutes, but something happened where they were kicked off of Twitter. But, you know, people were posting, look at this, and it wasn't but about an hour, I think, before they were back. So that was fun.
The problem is nobody should be on Twitter. That's the solution.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to kill all these people that get harassed. It's all on Twitter, you know.
That is right. That is correct. That's where people come up with the idea they need to be harassing people, saying, "Look at that! Look at this thought! Look at this sentence! This sentence cannot be." You know.
A friend of mine posted something. I forget what the article was, and my head is right in front of the art. Sorry about that. My friend posted an article. And it was something, and it was like, I'm trying to think of a ridiculous headline I make ridicule of. You know, people still think that the Earth is flat, and you know, so it's like this. All these people think this Earth, and you get to looking, and it was like, you know, 5 people on Twitter were commenting, you know, or people were outraged that, you know, Barbara Streisand, you know, killed a baby seal. And so you look, and it's like, it's a couple people on Twitter commented. And that was the totality of the news article about it. And it's like, when did 12 people on Twitter have the ability to generate news? You know, how is that news? Most people in the world are not on Twitter. Most people in America are not on Twitter.
I felt the power on Twitter before, where I had a friend, I had no idea the reach of his the typical thread sizes that he might engender. And so I made a comment about Sheriff Joe Aparo that I thought, he was a pretty okay guy in my book. And man, I never went back to his threads. I got I just about got lynched from that. Let me tell you, it was a bad experience.
Hang on just a second. Ellis, I gotta grab my headphones. None of my experiments at recording tonight have panned out. Hang on just a second.
Do you expect your art to be upside down? Well, that's all right. That's just the way you were turning it to ink it. Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? It's an hour. We've already been up an hour. We didn't have a...
Have we really been?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We have such a good time.
Okay, so my headphones...
Go ahead.
Well, we do. I enjoy talking to you, Ellis. I miss hanging out with you. I really do. I'm Labor Day. I'm off Friday and Monday. I don't know if you want to do something. I've been to the 45th Infantry Museum twice recently, drawing. Michelle had to go to her work last Saturday. And so I said, hey, drop me off at the bombing memorial. And so she dropped me off at the bombing memorial, and I went up. You can go. There's an upper deck you can go on. I sat in the shade. It was kind of warm, but I sat in the shade, got some drawing done, drew a kind of a cool little picture, But we need everything to open again, for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm bummed I can't go into the library. So... Okay, are you ready to call it?
Flyfox Pro says that hour went fast today. Well, that's because you got here a half hour in, I think, Flyfox. No, that's all right. I mean, Oh no, he got here at 7:15, so he's been around.
A little late. That's okay.
Go ahead and vote in the comments who you'd rather listen to, me or Scott. I'm kidding.
I will open up my YouTube.
I was just kidding about that. Don't vote on that.
No, okay. Don't vote on that. Okay.
Well, you ready?
Are you going to end? Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you, everybody.